respecting the surfers. This would be the thing. So yeah, avoiding the local surfers. Like, you know, there's a surf community that's established. There's bound to be wherever you surf. I mean, you may think, yeah, I'm going to rock up. I got my flashy motorised surfboard. I've got it on the roof rack, looking good. I'm going to come down. Hi, surfers, I'm in the club. No, you're not. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but they're probably going to hate you. You know, or it can be divided. Maybe like Marmite, as we say in England. You know, you either love it or you hate it. And some people will be thinking, wow, that's a good idea. You know, some of the surfers, but others are going to be thinking, no, that's terrible.
Cheating,
yeah, you know, what the hell are you doing with that thing? I mean, a lot of surfers, I mean, they don't like even stand-up paddleboards coming along. It's not right. You know, there's this people have worked their way up through the system. Like, I believe, when I look at it, you know, if you're the top dog surfer on your beach, you're in the best place on the beach. You know, you're right in the great place to catch all the waves. And the only other people around you are the less good people. They get to get a bit further away from that and a bit further away. And if you're like, you know, Surf Muppet or whatever, like, you get to play in the whitewash down here, which is absolutely sucks, but that's it, you know. And you've got to work your way through probably hours of paddling in every session, of getting no waves, and years of your life. You've got to work your way up from mushing around in that slop to getting up to being the top guy on the peak, because other than that, you just don't get the opportunity. I mean, the only chance you've got is if there's only a couple of surfers on your beach, and this probably means the conditions are a load of rubbish anyway. But if they've both caught a set wave and they've come in, you might have the opportunity to paddle from the really crappy place picking up the wave to the good place and then get your shot. But then also there's that whole, you don't want to be crashing into people, and you know, if you're not good at duck diving, you're just in the way. If you rock up to a beach and you're a professional surfer, you can get your respect pretty quickly. You know, the professional surfer, he's not going to stand in the mush. He's going to get straight in there in the best part. He's going to mix it up, and the local guys are going to soon see, wow, you know, if they didn't know it was Kelly Slater, he surfs like Kelly Slater, you know, actually, hey, we give him a bit of a break, probably, you know, although there's a lot of localism. But so actually, there's things that you can do. And I mean, you are up there probably cheating the system, really, aren't you, by having a motorised surfboard. You know, you fly away from the beach, you've just come straight in, you've rocked up and you're driving around. And if you think, there you are, if you've got a petrol board, they can hear you, they can see you, and they can smell you because of the two-stroke oil, and all that is very frustrating. So, I mean, there's things that you can do to respect them. You don't need to be up close to them. You can be picking waves that are further away. You know, these powered surfboards, we can ride waves that don't really have the power to bring a regular surfer along them fast enough to make the wave work, you know. But with the power and the throttle, you can fly down that wave. It can be fun. We can pick out waves like out the back, you know, the ones that are breaking further out. Get a few turns in before you get to the pack of surfers that are there, and then maybe you can carry on and ride that same wave, but a bit further away from the peak, you know, a bit further down from the peak where the other surfers are. Maybe even share the wave a little bit, but you don't want to be up close to them. And if you are driving past them, don't buzz past fast. Don't buzz past with your throttle full speed. You know, it's just annoying. Like, I mean, if someone's there in a car, you know, you've got a boy racer, 17-year-old, just got his license, he's revving his engine up, wheel spinning next to you while you're stood in the street, you would find that offensive. So if you consider yourself along the same lines, go past the surfers, go slow, not too much throttle. The wind, if you don't know the way winds work on the beach, I mean, at the moment the wind's blowing from this way. If I was to stand this way, I can feel the wind. I can tell the direction. It blows on both ears when I'm here. If I turn there, I can feel it on this ear. If I turn there, I can feel it on that ear. If I turn here, I can feel it. This is the direction of the wind. So if I was passing by the surfers, I could pass by downwind, and that means that the smell of and the sound isn't getting blown straight in the face, you know, it's actually getting blown away, you know. So there are things that you can do to be a bit more respectful. But the bad news is they're probably still not going to like it and like you being on there. But you know, it's just a case, I think, of doing what you can. There's no need to just go out, you know, to annoy people, just to piss them off. That would just be wrong. So you're going to encounter other water users too. You're probably going to encounter windsurfers, kite surfers, boats. So it's good to know, like, the rules of the road, you know, how things work. I mean, and then other jet surfers, you know, that can be dangerous. Like, if you've got to know which way to pass. I mean, boats typically would pass on the right hand side. You know, one boat, if one's coming towards you, one's coming towards them, you're probably going to pass on the right. Sailing, boats and windsurfers, they have a different kind of thing. Like, they have whoever's on starboard tack has the right of way, and you're only really going to know this if you know the direction the wind's coming from. Then the wind's on my right, that means I'm on starboard tack. So actually the person on starboard tack has the priority over the other person. The starboard tack can go where he likes. The guy on port tack, with the wind coming from his left, he should go whichever way to get around you, but the guy on starboard has got right of way. So there's these type of things that are going on. Wind power craft, they can't actually just go any direction they like. You know, the wind's coming from this way, they can sail across the wind, they can go in the wind a bit, they can go down the wind a bit, but they can't actually just directly go upwind. So if you're gonna, you know, like if you're coming at them and you're sort of squeezing them to the wind, they're gonna kind of stall and they got nowhere to go. So, you know, you can go away upwind of them and they go down. That's a good way to pass, I would say, probably. But it's, you know, be aware of it. And if in doubt, actually another good tip I would say is, if there's one coming towards you, you can just turn around and just go back the other way. Then you're both traveling in the same direction, there's not so much urgency, not so much of a rush, and that person then probably is going to navigate around you, you know. But just keep a lookout where you're going, keep a look around you. As far as jet surfing goes, like locally on my beach, there's three of us, and we have a bit of a, if we get in one of them moments, oh shit, you know, we're gonna crash, you know, or you just all of a sudden you're both enjoying yourself and you just find that you're coming one way, they're coming another way. What we do is we just point which way we're going to go. So I'll just point, I'm going that way, he's going to point, he's going that way, and we both, yeah, okay, and off we go, and we go about our business. There's been no collision so far. Whether or not that's some kind of standard that other people would use locally, but if chances are with the jet surfers, particularly now, you know, it's a small community, so you can have your own discussion on your own beach, you know, what kind of system that you're going to implement so you don't crashing into each other.
Yeah, and also I wanted to add, be careful with the snorkeling guys, because they never expect you and you go really fast and then he pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah, oh, sure, snorkeling, all these different water users, people swimming, all these things you've got to consider. And you might find that, locally it might be illegal to jet surf next to the swimmers, or if swimmers are in the water you can't go close to them. So you do have to kind of consider local laws and rules and things, you know, bathing areas, swimming areas. There is a lot to think about when jet surfing.